My journey here was a long one. I wasn't so sure about Calvary. Then I joined and went through the appropriate steps, became a member, and then went to, who was it? I ran into Bart Murphy one Sunday, and we got together a couple days later and had lunch over at Scruggs Barbecue. And he started talking about five-star men, and I got linked up with Pastor Emilio and just pretty much just jumped in feet first and ran with it. For me though, I look at it as the missing camaraderie that I didn't have, anymore now that I'm not in the military. It's a place where I can just be a man. We come in, we take off all the hats, right? I'm not a worker anymore. I'm not a father. I'm not a provider. I'm not anything other than a man among men talking with God and about God and how we can apply all of the biblical teachings to our personal lives. Furthermore, it allows you to be comfortable. It allows you to, what we talk about amongst ourselves it stays there. So it's a safe place. It's a happy place. Sometimes there's uncomfortable truth, but that comes with it. You truly love your brothers. You're looking out for them. And so, I think that's another big piece of it is that, there is no shame, there is no guilt, you're not the only man that has been through what you think you're the only man that's been through. So it's like I said, it's those moments for you to be able to open up and then truly experience God's wisdom, God's grace, God's love. There are a couple different instances that pop off right off the top of my head, and one of those is we were at men's huddle one night on a Wednesday night, and randomly out of nowhere, a guy comes in off the street. Hey, I just wanted some water. That's all I wanted. I just wanted some water. And so we bring him in, and we're like, yeah, man, no, we're having our men's huddle. Come on in. Let's just sit down and you just listen, relax, take a load off. We'll get you some water and we'll get you hooked up. And we go through that whole session, and then this man out of nowhere, just the deepest, most gut-wrenching cry that I've ever heard a grown man cry out, because that's exactly what he needed. He was thirsty, but to quote Joe, he was thirsty for living water. And that's what God gave him that night. One of the guys ended up taking him home. He lived in Huntsville. Just a nice little outreach in that one moment, but randomly, a God moment right off the street. This group of men that continues to meet they're brothers. And they're brothers in a war that we as men need to be preparing for. It's a spiritual battle. And without the word in our hearts, without the word in our brain, in our knowledge base, we're not going to be able to fight the spiritual warfare. And so every single one of these is a training session. Every time we meet, every Tuesday night now, because it's Tuesday nights at 6:30 instead of Wednesday nights, it's that spiritual warfare preparation. And the benefit that the Five-Star Man program brings is every morning there's a devotional right there in your inbox. All you got to do is pull it up and read through it. And the Five-Star Man program, deeper than that, right? There's additional, classes and readings that you can do beyond that with the Five-Star Man database that exists out there as well. So there are so many different tools and options that are available. And for the men who are out there who, for whatever reason, can't make it, won't make it, too ashamed, embarrassed, whatever the case may be, just stop, just come and feel the embrace and the warmth that is getting to know God at a deeper level with your brothers. And that's what it's really about. Holding closer to God has brought so many blessings in my life. It's been ups and downs from where I first started to where I am now. I mean, I had ended up in a job that I loved and ended up being let go, and was praying about it and praying about it and praying about it and continuing to persevere and push through with God. And it was less than 6 weeks, and God answered the prayer and gave me a job that I really didn't deserve. I wasn't qualified for it. I didn't have the degree, level that they wanted. I didn't have the years of experience that they wanted. And God said, hey, watch this. And he opened that door, and he allowed me to walk through that. It has made me a better father. It has made me a better brother, to both of my siblings, and a better husband. Most importantly, it's allowed me to inner reflect and realize that, again, I'm not the only guy that's ever been through what I think I've been through. I'm not the only guy that gets mad at his wife. I'm not the only guy that has trouble reconciling things from time to time. I'm not the only guy that flies off the handle. It's those pieces that understanding that you're human, and that just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you don't have faults. We all have faults. We're just striving each day to become more and more like Christ. Show up. Just show up for one meeting and let it be. But I think you'll make some connections that are really important.